Hi, ladies. Well, it's another one of those days. We're going to try and do another card class a take home class. I've been gone for a while. I haven't really posted in a while because we had a very busy summer. I had my dystonia has improved so much with the diet change that we did a lot more camping. We even camped our way to Colorado this year to see family, and just enjoyed the summer so much. But autumn's here, and now it's rainy, and the camper has gone to storage, and I have more time to focus on doing other card things. Of course, we kept up the classes over the summer, but and I had some good subs when I couldn't be there. But now it's my opportunity to offer another take-home class. I know, I wish I quit saying It's a terrible habit I have. But these are the cards, and I'm going to break them down and show you how to put them together. So if you purchase the class from me, I will not make the card kits up until we have class and you have told me exactly who wants to buy it. I don't want to overproduce and have things that I don't need. So we're going to start with this card. Back a while ago, it might have even been over a year ago, we made some templates. And I use a lot of the templates because it's an easy way. I don't have to keep track of other papers. I just go through my file. So this is one of the templates that we did, And so I just build off of that direction. So you will see the measurements these are the layers measurements. And then, oh, I see I did not write on the back of this one, which we can correct quickly, what this measurement is. So this is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, 8.5 by 5.5, and then I scored it at 2. Let's see, so that was 2, 3, 5.5, and probably 6.5. And that'll give us our base. So your card will have that already scored and ready for you to just assemble, as we've had in the past. All of these cards will be featuring the decorative die set. Decorative trees, I think that's what it's called. A lovely set of different kinds. What I used for this was an old set that I had from years ago called Stitch Seasonal Frames. But this frame could be anything. Here an example was just a rectangle, but you can have an oval, you can have a circle. It just depends on what you want to put as your focal point. When I looked at it, I wanted the trees, so I added this part, and then I layered it. And this is, I'm going to have to look it up. This is just another stamp that I stamped in the background to have some more trees. So then your layers are 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and they go on each side. And then I cut out the tree out of some glitter paper, and then a gold star. Now at this point, you could add a banner up here with a sentiment like Merry Christmas or whatever you want. I'm going to leave that up to you and your discretion. On the back is another piece that is cut the 2 by 5 1/4 so that it fits right in here, and you could stamp a message. or write your message, whichever you prefer. So it's a very easy card, but it's nice because it stands up. Easy to put together, and I don't think you'll have any trouble at home doing that. You can layer it up if you want to put dimensionals. It just depends on your personal choice of how you like to mail your cards. So like I said, when it's done, the nice thing is it does stand. I went ahead and added a few little embellishments. There will be a bag in one of them that has the embellishments for all of them. Rather than putting them in each individually, I thought I'll just make one. And so that's incorporating one of the templates we did. Okay, so then, maybe I'll leave this out. That's card 1. Card 2 is done with this template. So this is 7 1/4 inches long. It is by 5 1/2 and it's scored at 3. Then the second piece is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 and scored at 1 inch, so that you can take and put, this is the way it'll come. Because I want you to learn how to do this card, I decided this time not to glue it all together. So you're going to take, this is the 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 with the 1 inch. You're going to glue that middle, centering it, so that it opens flush to this edge. Then one of your toppings will go there. Your white will go in here to cover that so that you don't see that mechanism. And you do your message. And this layer goes here. Then on top of that, what I did was I took, and you'll have a piece of paper enclosed in there, I just took and ripped it to make it look like snow. And then I took my Wink of Stella and put a little bit of bling on it, just because I wanted it to be shiny. Then I also added some dots there. Like I said, you could dimensionalize it if you want to, or you can leave it flat like I did. So the measurements on this one was 7 1/4 by 5 1/2 scored at 3, and the little one is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 with the score at 1 inch. Inside is 5 1/4 by 4. This layer is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and this layer is 3 by 4. So very easy to do. We've done these in the past, but just a lot of fun. And you choose your middle portion. This is another card that would also have the 5 1/4 by what is that, 5 1/4 by 4 interior part. So that was made from this template. So this outer, I laid this a little different direction. Instead, I turned it around this way. That's the nice thing about, you could have your thing going this way. It can be this way or it can be that way. I chose the opposite. But the center, this piece here is 4 by 5 1/4. Here I just put, this is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And if you look close, you'll see how I took and embossed it. I just found an embossing folder I liked that I had in my collection, and I embossed that little strip. Then the strip that's out here, this is just another file or embossing folder that I was given. But I also think I'm going to incorporate this brand new one that we just got, because that would be nice also. But that's personal choice. And then I took another one of the trees. I took the tree that has the holly on it because it went with the paper. And then what you do is you take, what I did was I took this and cut it out of the green glitter, cut this out of white. Then you're layering this on top of this to match like that. And then all I did was cut that off to make the littler tree. So it fits nicely on there. So this one is 10 inches by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 and 8 1/2. This paper here is 4 by 5 1/4, 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, and 3 1/4 square is what I did the embossed one. So that's a pretty easy card to do. Everything will be cut, and you just, I actually cut and scored and embossed these for you, but just so you know what I did. Card number 3. I had to stop and count there. Okay, this one is another template that we haven't really used in class, so I'm not sure we made this one. But it's very easy to make. I took 11 by 4 1/4 piece of paper. I scored it at 2 1/8 and at 5 1/2. Then on that 2 1/8 side, I took my scoreboard and I figured out the middle, which I think is 2 1/8. And I lined up from, let's see. Okay, this was the part here. I took that and I took that and that, and then I cut it, and that made the diagonal. Same thing. I just turned it. It was the rectangle. So it was a, let's see if I can visually do this better for you. So the piece came out like that. I marked the middle piece, and I went from one point to the other point and cut it off. Then I took it the other direction from the point I marked to this point, and I cut that down. And that's what made this triangle. Okay? Then I took and I cut the little squares, and the squares are, if you want, I did not do that on yours. You could add a 3 by 4 on the inside. I added a 5 1/4 by 4 piece here, which is not in this one, but that is what that is right there. And then I took and cut you a couple of squares that are, I just need to confirm this. They are 2 3/4 squared. Yep. And you need 2 of those. So then what I find the easiest to do when I go to line this up, I glue this down, and this part is already glued down. Then I take and leave a little bit of a border all the way around, and only glue the section underneath there. So you're gluing from corner to corner because you want this to be able to lift up. Once I have that glued, then I take this other piece on the other side. This is already glued, and line it up. I put adhesive on all of this one, and I gently lay it back. And that way I know that this will line up perfectly, because you don't want to see it. You only want to see it when you open it up. Okay? I think that's pretty explanatory. It's not a hard card to do. And then I just used another one of my things and made a pretty little tree. And this is where I have the embellishments that will be included for all of them. I just thought it'd be easier to put them in one bag in one location. I did make a little tree that's stamped from the merriest trees, the verse, and I thought that would be nice right in there for your message. I'm going to include it, but you do not have to use it. It's up to you. And then I included some bigger embellishments for this particular card. And that's card number 4, made with this template. Like I said, 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 2 1/8 and 5 1/4. The squares are 2 3/4 each. The DSP on the inside here would be 5 1/4 by 4. And that's done. Then our last one, this designer paper may vary because I have a limited stock on this paper. So that what may change on this one or may not, it depends on how many orders I get, is this part right here. If I run out of this paper, then I will probably use some of the other papers, because on this one, you're going to have paper on every one of these little sections. You'll do your stamping message on this, and then these will be laid out. So then what happens is after you get those glued on, this folds over. This little piece, you kind of center it here and glue it down. I glue it down here first, making sure it's even. And then I tip it over and I put glue on this. You just want it on the other side of that so it adheres to there. So it looks like that. There's glue underneath just this section because you don't want it to glue it all, and glue under just that section. The top piece I embossed with this one. It's called, yeah, I think it's got the brick and mortar look. I don't remember the title of it. And then I took the snowflake one and added it to here. And then I have some little teeny tiny snowflakes in your bag that you're going to add there. I might add some bigger ones, but I'm waiting on my order to come because currently the new ones I don't own, but I've ordered them. So they should be in tomorrow before we have class. So I would be able to include those with your kit. And so those would be just nice little accents. And like I said, the only change might be they may not all have that same paper. Depends on how many orders I get on the cardstock. So then, this is a 5 1/2 by 11. You're going to score it at 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, and 7. The small, this part here is 3 by 6, scored at 3. And then these are 2 3/4 inch squares. You need 2 of those. So this will open up, have all of those. I did release this just so that I could show you. You don't want to lay it this way to do it. You want to put this part on, bring it back over, add a little adhesive to this, and bring it back and adhere it. And that way, when it opens, it'll open like that. And that's another card that's kind of nice for your recipient to get and let it stand. So that takes care of card number 5. There we go. I'm really enjoying doing this particular set of cards using the decorative tree dies. And like I said in my autumn video, our next class in December is going to offer, it's going to offer the same, using the same die set, a different fun fold. So that will give you a 6th Christmas card that goes nicely in a set, which would make a nice Christmas gift for somebody if you didn't want to individually send them all out. But this will be our class that will be coming in December 1st, along with this and possibly one more, but we'll see. And see there again, I took one of them, and we've used this a few times, one of the templates we made in class, and this template is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So you had it like that, and then I cut off 3 inches. So that 3 inches became this part. And then the DSP would be 2 1/4 by 4, and this one's 4 by 2 3/4. And there again, the thing that I did differently is instead of making this a flap like this one is, I took what would have been that flap and doubled this amount, putting a fold and tearing that down so it would be a hideaway card. So instead of just using the 3-inch piece here, I made a 6-inch piece, scored it at 3, and then changed it up a little bit only by sealing this down and doing that. An easy change up on a template that we already have. If that's confusing to you, you could make another template and have it in your stock. But it makes this particular card we will do in class, so it's will be easily explained. Whereas this class is a class that you will purchase and do on your own in your own time. Not that you can't bring it in on the weeks that we have off. Our 3rd week in the month where we do our own thing, this could be your do your own thing, and if you needed some guidance, I would be there to guide you. So I hope you'll enjoy this. It's kind of fun to do some sparkly type of Christmas cards. There's always other accents. It's you personalize yourself that you can do. But if you have any questions, you can always contact me, and I hope that this is a class that will be inviting to you. Thank you and have a good day.